I've been contemplating what I was going to say in this video, the Zeolite Wars, for many months now. We've been watching this firsthand. I've seen all the different videos on both sides. I've seen all the different comments from people. I've investigated the backgrounds of the accusers. I've seen a lot of it. And I was a little nervous about how I should make this video. I'm sure people are going to thumbs down the video because once again, we're just showing you guys the reality of what goes on behind the scenes. But there's definitely a war going on around zeolite. I thought that I would just make this video, show you guys all the science, show you guys all the studies and proof, give our own personal testimonies through my husband and the ridiculous, baseless claims that are being put out there by the opposition right now that for some reason want to invent this crazy narrative that Masterpeace is full of nanotechnology, which it's not. It was amazing. It was invigorating. It was horrifying. We went through all the experiences, right? And all the feelings. So we understand when we see another company going through all these different kinds of corrupt competition, let's lie about you, let's snuff you out. We get it because we've been there and we've gotten a much, much thicker skin over the years because now we know what to expect. And we see the same thing going on with this company. I hope I can put this up on YouTube as well as the other platforms because it's got a lot of medical stuff in there. I might have to put a disclaimer at the beginning of it because I'm just trying to show you guys some scientific proof, evidence, studies. I'm reading the papers. All I did was read out loud, right? So I'm just reading out loud some of the stuff that's going on behind the scenes with this. In compliance with YouTube's strict community guidelines, the Hope Girl blog makes the following disclaimer. The content on this channel is for informational and educational purposes only and does not constitute professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified health provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition. Never disregard professional medical advice or delay in seeking it because of something you may have watched on this channel. All content expressed in the Hope Girl blog videos is derived from qualified academic studies, scientific articles, government websites, and peer-reviewed journals. Source links are provided on the blog post for each video on www.hopegirlblog.com. Hi everyone, Hope Girl here. And in this video, I want to title this video, The Zeolite Wars. Why do I call it that? Because there is a natural ingredient called zeolite that can really help people with detoxing heavy metals out of their bodies. And as we know, that heavy metals inside of your body also reacts with EMFs in the environment. And it's part of the program that they're using to target human beings using EMF that latch on to your human body that is filled with heavy metals. And that turns you into what they call the human antenna effect. So the reason why I'm calling this Zeolite Wars is because in general, every time there is some kind of a solution out there that can help people, the opposition that is harming people basically always puts forth some kind of giant army of propaganda and disinformation and slander and all of this stuff to try to squash the people that are bringing forth solutions that are helping people to fight back against this system. So in this video, I'm going to share some of the scientific statements that have been put out by the company Masterpeace, which is a zeolite product, which has spent more money and time and energy creating more studies to show the effectiveness of this product than any other zeolite company that I've ever seen. And they've put out more information than any other company in general for any kind of a product. So I want to read some statements from the CEO, Matt Hazen, that he put out on his Facebook. I also want to bring forward and read out loud one of the blog posts that was put out by this company talking about the trials and tribulations that they have gone through with the opposition, trying to stop them from bringing this product out to the world to help as many people as possible. So full disclosure up front, our company, Fix the World Morocco, we make orgonite. It's also known as orgone energy, which is based on the science of the late Dr. Wilhelm Reich, creating an orgone energy field which preserves the life force of all living things. In addition to this, it also acts as a very effective form of EMF protection, shielding you and helping to protect you from the dangerous and toxic radiation that comes from EMFs. We've been running our company for 9 years. We have sold our products to over 30,000 people all around the world. And our main mission is to just keep putting out education to help any of the people out there that are trying to protect themselves from the EMFs that are coming from our ever increasing technological systems, such as the 5G and the cell phones and the towers, in addition to all the new emerging technologies that have now taken over since 2020, leading into things like 6G and 7G and all the different technologies that work according to those particular frequency bands. In addition to this, you should know, if you haven't watched our videos, that we are also part of the targeted individual community. My husband, Tavon, has been through targeting, through electronic harassment, V2K, and all of the other different forms of electronic harassment that have gone on through the targeted individuals program. We understand that in the beginning, maybe 10, 15 years ago, the targeted individuals program and all the different weapons that they were using on the population was just for a small segment of the population at that time as they were testing it. Well, 2020 happened, and you know everything that happened in 2020. And basically, if you look at the market share for EMF protection, there has been an incredible increase in people searching for different solutions for EMF protection. Why is this? Because people have become more and more aware of the toxic environment that is growing around them through the radiation that comes from cell phones, Wi-Fi towers, and all of these new emerging technologies that are being erected as we speak by thousands and thousands every single day. Not to mention all of the different White House documents and plans that the administration is putting forth to increase this technology in our environment. And we've done a ton of research showing how whenever there is a giant increase in this form of technology on the planet as a whole, that's when sickness also increases. So in addition to the sicknesses increasing, we are also seeing more and more people who are experiencing the symptoms of being a targeted individual through the different forms of electronic harassment that are being used on the population as a whole. So our company has partnered with Masterpeace because for at least the last decade almost, our company in all of our presentations, we are constantly saying there's no quick fix, there's no magic bullet to stop this and fix this. You have to do a whole lifestyle change. And a huge part of that lifestyle change is to go through a heavy metal detox. And it's very, very simple because if you have a body that is filled with tons and tons of heavy metals, the electromagnetic frequencies coming from all the equipment and technology in your environment around you is targeting your body using all of those heavy metals that are in your body. So one way to break the signal, to lessen the targeting, and to finally find a way to heal a lot of these symptoms is to get those heavy metals out of your body. We have done countless videos on this. We've also talked about how when you use EMF protection, such as orgone energy fields, that helps your body to release and open up its cells so that when you do take any kind of a heavy metal detox product, that helps with the chelation to pull those metals safely out of your cells, and then you can then eliminate them through your urine and your sweat and things like that. So with this said, I just want to put this video together to show you all of the studies. I will make a blog post with this with links to all of these studies. The company Masterpeace, first of all, I want to let you guys know that we love them. They're amazing people. They're doing incredible work. They have the right mentality, the right consciousness about their product, and what their mission is and what they're trying to do. It's very simple. They're trying to help people to heal. We, as Fix the World Morocco, making our products, are trying to help people to heal. Now, we started making our products not so we could make a business and just sell a bunch of products, because we needed help. My husband, especially being targeted, he needed help. He needed some form of relief. He's an engineer. He's former military, Navy. He has the inquisitive mindset. He understands the technology. So he was trying to figure out ways that he could help himself. Now, he's not going to be in this video sitting next to me talking with me, but I do have a clip of him later on in the video giving his testimony about what it's like being a targeted individual and taking Masterpiece, what his thoughts are on it, how he feels after taking it. And, his targeting has decreased immensely. And also, he'll give a couple of comments about how he feels about all the propaganda that has been coming out against this one particular solution of Masterpiece or Zeolite, because there's a lot of propaganda. So we're going to go through that, show you guys what the propaganda is so that you can make your own informed decision. We're not telling you you should take this, you shouldn't take this. We're sharing our experiences, and we are disclosing and uncovering the underbelly of these different groups of people, mostly online, that have come out to try their best to sabotage yet another healing solution. This is just like what happened during COVID, when there were certain remedies to help people to heal, and those remedies got sequestered, censored. The people that were promoting them were murdered in some cases. There's a lot of stuff going on with that. So you guys need to know there's this whole underbelly world of people who are trying to bring solutions to help people, and they get viciously attacked and in some cases unalived because of the work that they're trying to bring forth to help others. So please use your own discernment. And as always, I would say demand the facts, demand the evidence, and then go through the evidence for yourself and look at the evidence for yourself so that you can make your own conclusions. Do not follow online cult leaders. Do not follow these people that have no background or credentials to be speaking about the products that they're talking about, because honestly, they're all paid operatives. And we know this. We know this, but we don't know if you, the listener and consumer, knows this. So let's go through this once and for all. The first thing I'm going to start off with is a post by Matt Hazen that he just put out on his Facebook a couple of days ago. And he's talking about the opposition and all the different propaganda and trolling videos that have been made about Zeolite, Masterpiece, and this particular product. All right, so here is Matt Hazen. He's a wonderful guy. He has a beautiful family. We've become pretty good friends with him after working together. We share a lot of the same goals. This is the particular post that I want to read out loud to you to bring some awareness to it. He put this out a couple of days ago. Let's put this to bed right now. And he puts a video up here. Masterpiece Zeolite is full of nanotech. So you will see a lot of this stuff out there saying that Zeolite has nanotech. Zeolite hooks you up to the internet. These are all baseless claims, and you need to investigate the backgrounds of each individual group, online group. I'm not going to name any names here, but just so you know, if you see this kind of rhetoric going on saying it's all nanotech and it's hooking you up to the internet, or they call it a magic potion, okay, what we look at is the actual science behind it. So I'm going to read this entire post out to you. Masterpiece Zeolite contains 50 nanometers and smaller particulates of 100% C minerals. Compound microscopes at their highest quality can't see any resolution down to even 700 nanometers. This is not Masterpiece on this slide, the slide in this video. Okay? So they're saying this is Masterpiece. This is not Masterpiece that they're showing. They're tricking you. This video is a bald-faced lie from a woman with bad motives and a jealous past with Masterpiece and Carolyn Mansfield. Masterpiece's study coordinator, specifically. What you're seeing in this video is not just misinformation, it's blatant disinformation. And as a side note, guys, we've spoken with Carolyn Mansfield, and she's a lovely woman who does incredible work, and we really want to respect and honor her. So anybody going after her, I completely agree that they're lying, okay? So there's a difference, he says. Misinformation is something is wrong. Disinformation is someone knows that they're wrong and pushes it away. This post is the epitome of disinformation. And let's be real about something most people won't say. The people pushing these fraudulent videos work for some of our main competitors. And yes, there is money behind it. It's a lot of money, guys. It's a lot of money. But let's go on. That's why the attacks have remained relentless for over 2 years. Every time Masterpiece grows and positively impacts more people on big platforms, they re-release these old smear campaigns. In the video, what they are purporting natural sea mineral Masterpiece does is called Tesla phoresis. Anyone can look up university videos on Tesla phoresis and see that nanoassembling is accomplished from the synthetic effects of LED lights and 5G waves. Convenient that LED lights and 5G towers were intensely rolled out during the beginning of the lockdowns. Why do these people make hundreds of videos of lies against Masterpiece? Now let's get to the facts they hope you never look into. The video references what synthetic lab-engineered zeolite nanotubes used in nanotechnology research does. Masterpiece is highly sourced, natural Clinoptilolite, found where the cleanest sea plasma mineral water can be found. Synthetic zeolites are man-made, engineered for electronics, membranes, and industrial applications, built in autoclaves using structural directing agents, and never intended for human consumption. A little side note, this is what they're doing. They take they take white papers that are talking about these synthetic zeolites, and they say it's the same thing as the Masterpiece, which is a natural zeolite. Zeolite is a natural thing that is found in the world, in the earth. It's not synthetic. It's not the same thing, but they're tricking you into thinking that it is. So Matt goes on to say, now here's the truth. Masterpiece has nothing to do with that. In fact, the opposite in every definable way. Masterpiece is a naturally occurring clinoptilolite zeolite, not engineered, not a nanotube, not nanotech, and not designed to enter cells. The word nano gets thrown around to scare people. In Masterpiece, it refers to its particle size, which then reduced into the nanometer and smaller size exponentially increases the surface area and potentially to grab the most amount of toxic particulates. Nano-sizing the clinoptilolite naturally also exponentially improves the magnetic negative zeta potential, which helps strengthen its magnetic binding ability. And that zeta potential is something that orgone products do as well. They help with the zeta potentials of your cells to open them up so that you can then release all of these heavy metals and clean them out of your body. The suspension, since it's properly termed a nanocolloidal cleansing purifying product. Simply put, nano and picometer size and clinoptilolite in Masterpiece improves the overall binding efficiency and how deep it can go into the body's interstitial fluid. That does not magically turn a sea mineral, clinoptilolite, into nanotech. That's not how science works. Now, here's the part they conveniently ignore. And this is what I really wanted to read this for you guys for, because this is the stuff we look at in our company. Masterpiece has invested over $1 million in research. We're talking 6 completed human trials, independent, separate third-party testing sites used in all studies, so different third-party testing places, all getting very similar, unprecedented results. Blinded, placebo, control studies, 5 science gold standard double-blind blinded peer-reviewed articles publishing the conclusions of studies, making the facts irrefutable, blood, urine, hair analysis, and synthetic silicone-based electronic circuitry harmonics. And what did those studies show? Measured reduction in toxic burden, no tissue accumulation, no organ absorption, no systematic harm, no reported harmful side effects in all studies. Let me say that again. If Masterpiece behaved the way this video claims, the data would show it, and people would be feeling much worse instead of feeling better across the board. It doesn't, because the claims are false. The actual mechanism is simple. Masterpiece works in the body's interstitial fluid, the fluid surrounding your cells, where it binds predominantly paused charged toxins, heavy metals, aluminum, glyphosate, PFAS, etc., as well as the capacity through its high cation exchange rate to absorb and adsorb negative charged toxins such as fluoride, unlike any other binder. Masterpiece does not enter cells, build structures, act like synthetic nanotech, or implant anything. What you're seeing in this video is a classic tactic. Take a real scientific conclusion, such as synthetic zeolites that help build nanotech, synthetic zeolites, guys, right? Then misapply this to something unrelated, such as natural, nano-sized Clinoptilolite in Masterpiece, and say that it's doing the same thing. Then they use scary words and slithery, sultry voice. Count on people not reading past the headline. That's a big one. That happens all the time. And then he says it's not science, this is manipulation. So here's what needs to happen. Don't just ignore this. Share the truth, because silence is what allows disinformation to spread. Ask yourself, why would competitors go this hard unless something real was happening? Why attack something backed by scientific gold standard, double-blinded, peer-reviewed clinical data instead of debating the data itself? Why use fear instead of facts? If someone wants to challenge Masterpiece, great. Then address the actual composition, the actual studies, and the actual clinical data, not made up comparisons to lab engineered nanotech. And the bottom line is that synthetic nanotubes are not natural zeolite. Industrial nanotech is not biological detox support. Masterpiece is not what they are claiming, period. Share this, let people see both sides, and let the facts speak for themselves.
So again, this was dry blood. And I did see what looked like quantum dots. And obviously they were all lit when the blood was a new blood sample. And then I let it dry, and all the flashing kind of dots were gone. And I put this product, Masterpiece, that a lot of our patients got sick on, and it's actually lit this whole slide up, and it's formed a network. It's formed this network of, you can see, it's formed this network of dots. But it's all over the slide. All these flashing quantum dots are all over the slide, and it's built these quite spectacular networks. And it's also built, I don't know what they are, but they've literally built, but I don't know if you can see how these networks have been built.
I'll stop that there. I'll leave the link to this post so you can watch the full video if you want to. But honestly, guys, what are we looking at? We're looking at somebody who is looking at a microscope image and just trying to interpret what they think they're seeing. But this person's interpretation is not scientific. It does not match up with all of the different studies that are just listed there. So let me search around here because over the last year or so that we've been working with the wonderful people at Masterpiece, they've always provided all of the studies. So we've got a list of like 20 different studies. I'm going to put all of them in the blog post here because it actually does work. We take Masterpiece ourselves. I have a testimony here from my husband, Tavon, who is an ex-military targeted individual who is taking Masterpiece and having wonderful results. So you can hear it out of his own mouth. But let's go ahead and look at some of their studies. Okay, I know that reading through studies and white papers can be a little daunting for some people. So let me just summarize this here. In the blog post, I will list links to all of these studies. There are, let's see, how many? 21. I have 21 different links to scientific studies that were done on Masterpiece and Zeolite that completely and totally prove all of these different false accusations false. Let me just read you the titles of these studies. This is a list of all 21 ACTA published papers discussing or mentioning Masterpiece. So one of them is Active Scientific Medical Sciences with an ISSN number. Masterpiece Zeolite pilot study found to be safe and effective in removing nano and microtoxic forever chemicals, heavy metals, microplastics, and graphene and aluminum found in the human body, cells, and fluids. Again, guys, I want you to understand that some person on the internet with no background credentials just saying their opinion does not equal the weight of somebody who has they're running a company and they spent money paying scientists with labs, with equipment, and test subjects in order to come up with what they've come up with in their studies. Each one of these studies costs money. They said they spent over $1 million doing these studies just to prove to you guys how this product is helpful and it's not dangerous. Okay. So sorry for that little interjection, but I just want people to understand this is not just something. This is a real solid body of evidence that people paid for in order to do this work and get this work done to provide you with this proof and this evidence that this product is safe and that it works. Okay, moving on the list. Number 2, another medical sciences article exploring the alkalarian lifestyle, a comprehensive review of Dr. Robert O. Young's health paradigm. He had a lot to do with this product as well, and he has a lot of great science behind him. Number 3, testing Masterpiece Zeolite Z for temperature, pH, and oxidative reduction potential when formulated with Solargy C plasma salts. Number 5, the therapeutic potential of cannabidiol CBD oil and Zeolite Z in aqueous colloidal solution of Solargy, which is sea minerals, in the prevention and treatment of any cancerous condition and other health conditions. Number 6, natural approaches for detoxifying and chelating toxins, a comprehensive guide to nanomaterials, heavy metals, microplastics, and electromagnetic fields. All right, that's where our company comes in when it comes to the EMFs. Number 8, in defense of zeolite detoxification, addressing concerns and strengthening the case for its role in health and environmental detox. I went through 8 of them. There's 21 of them. I will list all of them with all their links, which you can go and read all these studies for yourselves. This is a tremendous amount of work that they have put in to test this product to make sure that it's doing what it says. And the test results have been absolutely phenomenal. Phenomenal. And that is why the trolling opposition has come out to attack Masterpiece specifically so incredibly hard. So let me take you over now to an article that was written by the Masterpiece company describing some of the opposition that they have experienced and how hard their particular path has been with trying to promote this product that's helping a lot of people. Now, before I go into the article, I just want you guys to know that Our business, Fix the World Morocco, and our family, we come from the realm of free energy. 10, 15 years ago, my family open sourced the blueprints for a free energy device, and we had 250,000 downloads within the first day of open sourcing it. It went viral, and we were immediately put on everyone's hit list. We were attacked from every single angle. I wrote an entire book about our experiences of what we went through. It was amazing. It was invigorating. It was horrifying. We went through all the experiences, right? And all the feelings. So we understand when we see another company going through all these different kinds of corrupt competition, let's lie about you, let's snuff you out. We get it because we've been there and we've gotten a much, much thicker skin over the years because now we know what to expect. And we see the same thing going on with this company. So let me go ahead and read from you the Substack post that was put out by Masterpiece so you can see some of the hardships that they've been through. All right, this article is Why Masterpiece is Being Suppressed. If you've been around human consciousness support since the early days when a growing group of us had fevered excitement about the possibilities with the breakthrough formula Masterpiece, you'll remember how innocent we were to what we would face. We didn't realize how much of an upset this simple, elegant, colloidal formulation would have on alternative health circles, partly because we didn't fully know what it is capable of doing for detox. During the first 6 months, our pace with contacting those who would understand this formulation, including Dr. Young, who became our biggest voice, and the need for it increased. Those conversations also got us into a labyrinth of dynamics with many stakeholders. This article is written to finally put some questions to rest about what happened early on and continues to happen. This has progressed to the point that we feel we need to defend ourselves with the truth from our perspective and accompanying facts. Controlled opposition? Here we go. First off, let us dismantle the assumption that what we're talking about is controlled opposition. Some have taken a big leap from a few facts available in the public and assigned it so. Frankly, that go-to explanation for anything seemingly out of harmony with the way forward is not serving anyone. It breeds fear-mongering, unnecessary distrust, and it is a distraction from the lack of personal responsibility, integrity, of stakeholders. What we will show is fearful self-preservation, greed, and ego. Not to say that controlled opposition doesn't exist and is not at play somewhere here, but what we will present are facts that have proven to be enough to erect a divide that has the end results of suppression of Masterpiece's efficacy and even existence. The beginning. Matt Hazen, the founder and CEO of Human Consciousness Support, a whole company originally based on one formulation, Masterpiece, started the process in 2022 to learn how to make a proper nano-colloidal natural zeolite product, one that would outperform the rest. In the beginning, just like any other new formulator, experiments were initially done in his kitchen with equipment beyond his understanding. Sometime after he enlisted the help of Michael Coe, Chief Scientific Officer at Kansas State University's Nano Lab, he upgraded his experiments to a dedicated building he purchased new and placed on his own property. Even though Matthew had big dreams, no one could foresee the magic that was going to come out of the year of mentoring and experimentation. It should be understood that his setup was appropriate for the time and circumstances. And if anybody has an issue with Michael Coe coming from a nano lab, Matt Hazen has addressed this very appropriately many, many times in many of his interviews. So I don't have any problem with that based on the information behind that. In June of 2023, we opened our doors and started selling Masterpiece that Matthew continued to make himself at his own address. It was a grassroots product that had strong anecdotal evidence from the very beginning and followed known science. We were proud of our grassroots beginning and had no intentions to change that. After about 6 months, the beginning formulation we sold was put into a small pilot study testing for 21 toxins, including graphene oxide, in 3 volunteers. See our article about that here. In the fall of that year, Dr. Edward Group, who owns and operates a large high level formulation facility and distributes his own and many others' products, called Matthew. Group is a registered doctor, chiropractic in DC, a naturopathic practitioner, NP, and an alumni of Harvard Business School and MIT Sloan School of Management, and founder of the Global Healing Institute. He showed a keen interest in Masterpeace and had an offer on the table to make it in his own facility, like he does for so many others in the same circles. Interestingly, Dr. Group had a zeolite product within his lineup at one point. He inquired about our formula and how our formula was made, and the conversation made Matthew uncomfortable because no one knew that except him at the time. During the call, Dr. Group warned that the continuation of making it in an unapproved facility and how that would cause problems in the future. Matthew responded thankfully to the warning, but the offer to take over production was declined. Here's where the problems started. If you need to rewind that so you could understand what was going on there, please do. Okay, HCS went on to find an appropriate production facility that was GMP certified, a high rating, and also able to handle the increasing demand for the product. A few months later, public postings about Masterpeace being tainted with all sorts of things started. Here comes the smear campaigns, right? We looked at the supposed proof, yet nothing stood any sort of intelligent scrutiny. We've written and spoke on these topics publicly. Turns out the most outspoken public efforts to destroy what Masterpeace has built has been by those who sell and or administer EDTA chelation products and other detox support products. EDTA is advertised as a chelator, and this article will not go into whether that claim is true or not. The focus is on what's being sold, who is selling it, and how the if you can't beat them, join them tactic did not work, so the new strategy is now suppression. Where the loyalty is, in time it came to our attention that many products for sale on various success platforms come from one facility, Dr. Edward Group's. Dr. Group produced an oral EDTA, which is sold on many platforms by his colleagues and other products through contract manufacturing. So many of these seemingly unaffiliated brands actually have loyalty and rely on Dr. Group. When it became clear that Masterpeace was a direct competitor to the EDTA market, not to be confused with any competition in efficacy, and Global Healing Institute had no profit from it, we were now put in the category of being in opposition with a large model of education, formulation, and distribution of many health-related supplements. Interestingly, about a year ago, Group started speaking publicly about needing synthetic supplements to fight synthetic toxins, thus pushing his EDTA as a supposedly proven antidote to our modern toxicity. That, interestingly, came on the heels of our published research of Masterpeace's efficacy in the very toxins that are claimed to be chelated by EDTA. Some of the most disparaging remarks and incredible efforts to discredit Masterpeace was from Dr. Anna Maria Mahalsha, a board-certified internal MD. Dr. Mahalsha dedicated an entire show segment as a hit piece. Could this possibly be because she sells Group's products, including EDTA, via her own website? There's a picture of that with the methylene blue. Many of Dr. Mahalsha's inconclusive findings made the rounds and were taken as fact, resulting in many being steered away from the proven benefits of Masterpeace. Matthew heard directly from a woman who used to be an avid affiliate for Masterpeace, using it in her clinic alongside EDTA, that there were weekly meetings with group, herself, and a few other colleagues about how to take down Masterpeace. This same woman publicly spread ridiculous lies about members of our team, causing some to question our characters. Recently, it came to our attention that a respected affiliate of Global Health Healing Institute, who is also a referral partner for human consciousness support, was forbidden to promote Masterpeace at his booth at the upcoming Healing of the Ages event arranged by Dr. Group. Why would this be? Truth will outlive the noise. Every pioneering idea passes through 3 stages: ridicule, resistance, and finally, recognition. Amen to that, Masterpeace guys. We've experienced that too in our own field. We're simply moving through the second phase, the resistance phase, right? Masterpeace was never meant to belong to an industry. It belongs to the collective healing of humanity. Amen. It was born out of the courage to experiment and faith in nature's intelligence. Those who attack it misunderstand what they're finally fighting against, not a product, but a paradigm shift. We share this now not to divide, but to clarify. To everyone who has stayed with us, who kept using, sharing, and believing when others walked away, your trust is appreciated. The truth always resurfaces, just like the human spirit it serves. And so we go on, anchored in truth, guided by evidence, and committed to the mission that started all of this, to restore peace within the body and within consciousness itself. To your health, the Human Consciousness Support Team.
Human Consciousness Support is a company that is privately owned by myself. What we have become known for is the first and only company to perform human clinical trials, testing the levels of environmental toxins as well as what's now known as harmful ingredients in the
For Masterpeace, I've been conducting a number of studies. We've been looking at the product being able to remove a lot of toxins and heavy metals and forever chemicals and other substances like graphene oxide, glyphosate, and we've shown that the product is actually highly efficient at removing these toxins from the body.
I'd say my sleep's improved a lot, so I had a lot of trouble before sleeping, especially getting to sleep. So falling asleep now is a lot easier. The quality of sleep's better. My overall mood is considerably better. I don't really have much of a negative outlook anymore.
I think the amount of energy that I've had has been the biggest difference overall. I've definitely not felt a slump in the middle of the day, and it's felt much more consistent from when I'm up in the morning to when I'm ready to go to bed at night.
Generally, I notice my life choices easier.
We've had an average reduction across the board so far, and we've got one more day of test results coming in, of 80% reduction of these radio frequencies coming off people's bodies. Now this is unprecedented, because usually in clinical studies, if you were to get a 30% reduction, that is something that people are very happy to see.
We have these things inside our bodies that we're unaware of, and to find out that the product can improve it by that amount is significant. Yeah, makes you feel good.
I've been contemplating what I was going to say in this video, the Zeolite Wars, for many months now. We've been watching this firsthand. I've seen all the different videos on both sides. I've seen all the different comments from people. I've investigated the backgrounds of the accusers. I've seen a lot of it. And I was a little nervous about how I should make this video, because I didn't want to make this like another big expose where I'd get attacked. I'm sure people are going to thumbs down the video, because once again, we're just showing you guys the reality of what goes on behind the scenes. We've been lumped up into this fight as well, but there's definitely a war going on around zeolite, right? So I thought that I would just make this video, show you guys all the science, show you guys all the studies and proof, give our own personal testimonies through my husband, which I'll put a clip of him in here real soon so you can see Tavon's reaction to zeolite. We support it. Our company supports it. We promote the product. It has worked very, very well for us. And the wonderful people at Human Consciousness Support have an entire page on their website that's dedicated to promoting our products, because the two of our products work together to help many people. Now, we've created so much information about just doing our best to try to put all of our research together to give it out to people, to help as many people as possible. Tavon and I wrote a free guide for EMF survival, right? Because we're getting asked hundreds of questions every week from people. What do I do about my smart meter? What do I do about, shielding paint? What about my sleep? What about the coils in my mattresses? What about this? What about that? So we've been answering these questions over and over and over again. So we decided to take all of them and put them into a free guide, totally free. I'll put that link below this video as well, because we wanted to help as many people as possible. Not only just the questions, but we get like long phone calls from people that are like, look, man, this is what happened to me. I've been having these problems with, and they start explaining all their symptoms, and we're like, yeah, you're being targeted. And this is exactly what's happening. And they're like, what do I do? What do I do? And people are desperate and they need help. So it's like, there's no quick fix. It's an overall lifestyle change, and you got to start taking care of things one at a time. So that's why we made this guide. Hi, this is Hope and Tavon.
And we've been doing this a long time. We spent years trying to find solutions to get some relief from our EMF sensitivity, the things that we were suffering from, to the point to where we were getting sick from it. And life for us was difficult. So over time, we found some great solutions that really helped us, and we wanted to share them with others.
That's right. We've been working in this field for at least over 10 years. And we run a business that makes handmade EMF protection products with over 30,000 customers all over the world. And we're constantly being asked the same questions by our customers over and over again. So we decided to honor that and put all of our personal answers in a free book to help as many people as possible when it comes to finding relief from EMF sensitivity in your personal environment.
Also, we'd like to add that we get a lot of emails from folks telling us that the EMF in their environment has been getting worse, and in some cases it's almost impossible for them to deal with. It's almost impossible for them to live with. By the time these people come out to us, they're in pretty dire need and require some immediate relief. We end up speaking with them, giving them a long list of all the things that we did in order to help ourselves.
So this guide, let me tell you what it's not. It's not an expensive course where all you learn about is just how bad EMF and 5G is. This guide is free, and it's a practical list of specific things you can do right now to fully assess your own situation, find out where the radiation is coming from, and specifically what you can do to block the signal and clean up the frequencies in your environment.
In this booklet, we cover trifield meters, find out where the radiation's coming from, shielding while you sleep.
We talk about metal mattresses and why that matters, grounding, shielding your windows.
We also cover RF shielding paint that you can put inside the rooms that have a high meter reading. We also discuss floor mat shielding and also smart meters.
And here's the one big question we get all the time. What do I do if I have a cell phone tower right next to my house, or a 5G tower? We talk about that as well. We also talk about dirty electricity in your home, smart appliances, military-grade weapon systems.
And then we cover orgone energy products, basically what they are and how they operate. And also we discuss heavy metals and EMF and how that plays a part in the human antenna effect. We also discuss the diet, the sugar, the yeast, and its correlation to EMF.
Also, we covered how medications interact with EMF, some stuff you might have not been aware of. So why are we giving this away for free? We want to nurture a relationship with folks who are looking to clean up the EMF in their life. So we'll be sending you stories and more fascinating information around EMF protection in the weeks after you download our book. This is also one of our ways of trying to avoid the censorship and shadow banning. So let's keep in touch.
So click the link below this video to get your free instant download of our book. It's not impossible. You can do this and you'll feel so much better for it.
This is Hope and Devon wishing you and your family great health and relief from the EMF toxicity in your environment. So with that said, let me give you a clip of my husband talking about his experiences and his thoughts on Masterpeace and the ridiculous, baseless claims that are being put out there by the opposition right now that for some reason want to invent this crazy narrative that Masterpeace is full of nanotechnology, which it's not. So I encourage you to listen to this. And I also encourage you to research every single person that's putting out those claims. Who are you? Who made this video? What is your alternative agenda? What's your background? What's your credentials? And why should I listen to you? And why should I believe you? My husband puts it perfectly. If you're going to attack somebody's business and their product with slander, I'm just going to say stuff, but I'm not going to back it up with anything. You have to come, if you're going to say a lie about somebody's product or an accusation about somebody's product, especially if that somebody has done the amount of work that Masterpeace has done and spent all the money that they spent in order to get these results and these studies for people's information, then you need to come with the same amount of work, the same amount of studies to back up your baseless claims. And none of these people do. None of these people do. And another side note is that there's a few accounts out there, Substacks, online trolling accounts that are run by young people with zero experience, zero credentials. They won't even give you their last name. They're obviously paid trolls. And they create entire websites, entire Substacks, and tons and tons and tons of videos where they'll start pointing, just like they said here in this article for Masterpeace. They'll point to one thing and then they'll claim that it's another thing, and they're switching things around to confuse you as the listener. So you need to actually look through all those studies for yourselves, seriously, and prove it out. Because they'll say, see, look what synthetic zeolite does. And then they'll say, it's the same thing with Masterpeace. No, it's not. No, it's not. And they're incorrect. So here's my wonderful husband. He's fixing things right now around the house, which is why he's not in the videos with me at the moment. But you just fix one of our appliances because you are an electrical engineer and you're a genius. Thank you very much. You're my hero for fixing things and making stuff work. And he's got his own brand of content coming out real soon with all of his different solutions that he's come up with. But in the meantime, I'm getting ready to do a video called The Zeolite Wars, and I'll do it on my own, reading through all the content. But I wanted to ask your opinion on zeolite, the specific zeolite that we're using in the Masterpeace product. And you are a targeted individual who is a survivor from being targeted. And at first, what did you feel about zeolite? And then when you looked into it, what do you feel about it now?
Initially, I was neutral because I didn't know anything about it. And I still, to this point, I don't know much more than just an average person reading up on what the results are from what's available online and what companies have to offer as far as their research. So I was skeptical. I know the questions I had in the beginning is anything that is because I was learning. For me, it's an own personal journey. Anything that's nanoscopic or nanoparticulate isn't necessarily bad if I ingest it, because it goes through the cells, directly to the cells without any kind of filter. And so I knew that this new remedy came out, and my conclusion was, let me wait and see. Let me see what the reviews are. If it's good, customers will say it's good. Everyone will love it, and you'll see. Time will tell. Time will tell. And I was glad I did that, because now what we see, fast forward, with all the data from all the research that the company had done, the particular company I'm referring to as Masterpeace, but I think there's one or two others. Their data really impressed me, because it was like double-blind studies, all kinds of data that showed that it was helping people remove heavy metals out of the body with great success. And for me, that's what's most important, is that the data trumps any preconceived notion or any thoughts I may have, because I was looking for real, proper professionals who were working to solve a problem and their expertise to provide the data, and it was there. So I'm glad that a solution like Masterpeace exists, because it gives people, especially those who've been in the targeted or who are in the targeted individual program, hope to be able to clean out their bodies, removing a very important layer that is necessary for them to even remain in the targeted individual program. And so I'm really hopeful for the future now with zeolite type products like Masterpeace. So yeah.
Are you taking Masterpeace?
I am not as religiously as I should. I do go on bouts where I take a regimen over a window stretch of time, because when I go through a detox cycle, it is pretty heavy. It's pretty heavy. I do recommend it though. And also, I have been doing some form of detox over the last 10 years. And as far as me being targeted in that manner, where it requires to have contaminants in your body, I feel much better than I do in 2014. So for me, I know it's a cumulative based effect, and I highly recommend that consult a consultant, a physician, someone that can help you with looking at ways of removing heavy metals from the body. So I do take Masterpeace. I love Masterpeace. And again, you gotta just have a schedule. If you're gonna do a detox, stick with it for a window of time. And then, obviously your body needs to rest and then get back into it.
What are the differences that you feel with taking Masterpeace?
Actually, I think of the other solutions that are out there, I noticed that it's quite salty. If you try to go into more like the heavy detox, it's salt. It's like salt water, So for me, I have to make sure I hydrate. So again, these are responsibilities I take when I'm going through a detox. Make sure you hydrate. Make sure that, like, if you're in a hot climate, just be aware of how much water you lose. That you're eating healthy. And it just calls for discipline. But for me, I noticed that it's the salt factor. So you have to make sure you're hydrated and you pace yourself based on what kind of detox you're engaged in. Which again, make sure you have a consultant to help with that. But other than that, I think actually it's quite gentle as far as other things going on with the body, and it all passes through your body over a period of time that is measurable. If someone is actually monitoring certain things, like they're going into a private clinic and checking out trace amounts of metals in their body, it is one of those things that if you are dedicated, you can actually see an improvement. So, yeah.
How is it helping with your targeting?
Well, for me, I just think it's overall wellness, how I feel day by day. And also, I've been going through some kind of cleansing type regime over the last 9 to 10 years. So I've been feeling better time after time after time as things improved over the years. So I might not be necessarily the best person to ask, because I'm kind of coming in with some kind of detox regime. But I feel better. I also feel like I have more energy, more balanced when you do these detoxes, and also I intermittently fast. You feel more balanced during the day. You're not having to do this yo-yo effect with having to try to eat something 3 or 4 times a day. And something like a Masterpeace, I think, goes well with that. You have to schedule when you're going to take it if you do have that kind of thing, because you know, you can't necessarily do it always on an empty stomach. So, but that's how I feel taking it.
One last question, and this is a tough one. For the claims that Masterpeace contains nanotechnology that is hooking your body up to the internet, what are your thoughts on that?
No, I disregard any kind of anti-propaganda unless they can provide comparable evidence, in which case that company and its research, they provide lots of evidence and efficacy and customer data and all the things they've done. If anyone's going to say it, more than what most companies out there that offer any kind of remedy or prescription or something that people can take over the counter, they don't offer that kind of information on their product. But for the amount of work that they did, if anyone's going to say anything against the product and the company at this point, they need to provide evidence at the same level. And that's how I see things. So if you're going to say something about that, make that kind of claim, you have to provide a mountain of evidence on the contrary that that particular product, that particular thing is not doing what it's shown to do, with the people out there being measured, being tested with their own testimonies, which you won't be able to. And I'll just say you won't be able to, because these are individuals who are out there giving their feedback as customers. Good luck with that.
Do you, as an ex-military targeted individual, feel that taking Masterpeace has increased your targeting and hooked you up to the internet so that they can control you?
Absolutely not. No. So, only improve the condition. And again, it's also incumbent on people who look for remedies to take the responsibility over their lives, over their bodies, over their minds, when they want to actually be serious about being well.
And let's talk about that t-shirt. Shanghai Organite Life Force Energy. Turn around, let's see the back of the t-shirt.
Because I wear it all the time doing my work.
We here at Fix the World Morocco, making orgone energy products for EMF protection. And we have partnered up with Masterpeace. We have a Masterpeace affiliate link on our website, and Masterpeace has our products on their website as well. So we are very happy to be part of this partnership, helping as many people as we can. Thank you, Tavon. So I hope that's helpful. I hope I can put this up on YouTube as well as the other platforms, because it's got a lot of medical stuff in there. I might have to put a disclaimer at the beginning of it, because I'm just trying to show you guys some scientific proof, evidence, studies. I'm reading the papers. All I did was read out loud, right? So I'm just reading out loud some of the stuff that's going on behind the scenes with this. We've been in this fight all along. We completely support the Masterpeace product. We take it. We had a hard time getting it into Morocco because we have customs requirements here. So we had to have friends bring it to us in their suitcase on airplanes. But that's how we managed to get the product, because it's that important to us. And it's part of our regime to try to heal from targeting, from nanotechnology poisoning, and all different sorts of other things. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please leave your comments below. Leave your comments below. I read all the comments. I check all the comments. And, I will respond as best as I can. Please share this video, because the guys over there at Masterpeace, they're very, very busy. They're flying all over the place. They're getting on people's shows. They were on the InfoWars the other day. They're working with amazing people like Jesse Beltran. And as a side note, Jesse Beltran's work is incredible. That man has a very, very special mission. Jesse, this is Hope and Tavon from Morocco. We know we will meet you eventually. We are trying to convince you to come to Morocco. My husband would love you to scan him. And we've spoken to so many of the people that you've worked with and helped. And we just want to say thank you from the bottom of our heart for the work that you do. We think that it's incredible, and keep going on and keep doing what you're doing. It is very, very needed for people in our community, especially those targeted individuals and people that are former military, like my husband. We need you. We need your work, and we need your help. And thank you very much. To everybody else, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye for now.
Many people become sensitive to EMFs, which can cause a number of health issues. Using Oregon Energy products in your environment can protect you from EMF toxicity and help to restore a harmonious environment that aids in better health and well-being. The results vary from better sleep, pain relief, better growth in plants, food preservation, better mental clarity, and an overall calming effect. These handmade devices are a composite of shungite, steel, iron oxide, quartz, and brass powders, all encased in an epoxy resin. They emit a passive grounding field of Oregon energy. When used in your environment, these devices transform the harmful energy given off by electromagnetic frequencies or EMFs that come from 5G, your cell phones, Wi-Fi, and electronic devices into healthy, life-preserving energy. These Oregon energy devices are available in different shapes and sizes for a variety of different uses. Pendants that you wear, phone shields to use on your electronics, sleeping pods to help protect you at night, and charge plates to use for food preservation, pyramids to grid your property, and garden pucks to help your plants grow. They even have construction tiles to help transform your space. And now there are products for your pets and headset protectors. To learn more, read the science and testimonials and save 10%. Click the link in the description below.